the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
How good is that?
Fitz, have we tracked down the main man yet?
Oh, mate, we've been lucky enough to see this documentary, but it's out on Prime Video. It's called Kids Are Growing Up. It's the story of the Kid Laroi and his huge rise from a young kid in Redfern. It's an unbelievable story, and we're just getting him up right now. There he is. Kid Laroi, where are you, bro?
I just stepped away. I was just grabbing some food. I was just doing a bunch of interviews and stuff earlier, so just kind of snagged some food really quickly.
This is a really exciting project that you've been working on. Kids Are Growing Up. Now, this is basically your story, isn't it? I mean, from Redfern to where you are now.
Well, yeah, it's a story of the past 3 years, maybe 4 years. It's not it's not like a full, come up story situation or like the triumphant, this is it documentary, This is the end. It's a little bit of just like a recap, a little bit of insight to the past couple of years, and just hopefully, the goal of the film is basically, I guess, just to hopefully maybe inspire people a little bit and just, I don't know, show a bit more of myself. That's what everyone's always telling me to do, is show a bit more of myself.
Well, watching this documentary and the amount of anxiety and depression that you suffered as a young child, and you know what? It's amazing to think, because, there's a lot of young artists and rappers out there, kid, that are trying to make it these days, but just to get that tiny foot in the door, and for Juice WRLD to do that for you and say, come and support me on the Australian tour. It's just tiny moments, sliding doors moments in people's careers that, would you be here now if that didn't happen, Kid?
I don't think so at all, no. I think everything, comes together the way it's supposed to, and, you can't predict anything. Everything comes, different timing, and it's all just a combination of all of that stuff. But there's no chance I would be here without Juice at all.
Is there anything from the Redfern days that you couldn't put in the documentary? There would have to be some videos.
I want to do something later on down the line where we do a proper, everything about my life and stuff. I really wanted to just focus on the past couple years of doing the whole music thing, and just that was, more so the space of keeping it about like that, and just showing people just the different moving parts of being going through whatever's happened the past 3 years, 4 years, whatever it may have been.
Are you saying that you're not ready to be cancelled just yet? You're going to keep some of those things in your back pocket?
That's up.
Oh, we're proud of you, mate.
Yeah.
Is that Tate McRae? Is she jumping in the car now with you, or is she's not there today?
You guys are crazy.
Great response.
You knew it was coming, mate.
You guys are crazy. You guys are crazy guys. That's all I'm going to tell you.
No, can we just ask, are you happy at the moment? We're worried about you.
Such a lame question.
I'm very happy. I most definitely am
very
happy. So I'm actually the happiest I've been maybe ever. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to know.
Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys supporting.
Always, brother.
Legend,
good to chat.
Thank you.
Likewise, guys.
See you, mate. Bye-bye.
See you, Kid.
This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Are you guys aware of an artist by the name of Pink?
Oh, the one that does the flying backflips.
I thought she had the upside down exclamation mark.
That's her.
That's the
her.
one.
Yep. She's just performed in Sydney, and amazing. So good. She's had such a good time down in Australia. We spoke to her as well before she started her tour, and she brought the family with her. Carrie came down, and also the kids. You've got Willow and Jamison as well.
Yeah.
Tommy, what's the song that you love?
Cover Me in So What? Well, you took your daughter, didn't you, Tom?
Yeah, I guess so. They just lost my boyfriend. I don't know where he's gone.
When Tommy goes to a karaoke bar in his leathers, and all of a sudden you hear na 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 na, you know that you're in for a good night.
There's a great.
Do you do it like this?
With
The way you were bringing up the
With your
microphones
my hips
before.
and
It is sexy.
Okay, so she's posted a video to her 10.7 million Instagram followers. This was at a core stadium in Sydney, and it shows it's side of stage. So I think Carey, the husband, is filming this, but Willow got up for the Sunshine.
Cover Me in Sunshine.
Cover Me in Sunshine.
Beautiful song.
Beautiful song, and you can see there's a moment where Pink's Like looking at Willow going, I'm so proud of you, my daughter, my firstborn. Have a look how proud I am of you. And then Carey pans around with a video camera and there's Jamison on a seat just with his head back and a bottle of water just in his mouth.
Yeah. Isn't that second kid? The second kid is always a bit skibbity. The second kid behaviour is just...
Well, there's not the pressure on the second child, do you think?
The spare.
You can't call them spare.
I love it. So this is what we're taking this morning. Firstborn versus secondborn. And I want you to give me examples. I'll give you an example.
Go.
Quite a few years ago, I spoke about this on air. So my firstborn, Houston, decided to ask his brother to play Yahtzee with him. And the secondborn stabbed him in the leg with a pencil because he was losing at Yahtzee.
Classic secondborn. Just gets worse and worse, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
the second child's always the one who flips the Monopoly board.
Yep.
Firstborn Huey got emotional years ago with a haircut when it was cut too short on the sides. Lenny got angry that his rat's tail wasn't long enough at the salon. Von in Spring Farm. Are your kids different, Von? Give us an example.
So I get a phone call from school. One gets straight A's, one is amazing, winning all end-of-year awards. Second one punches and gets suspended.
Because they feel they have to fight. They're born into the world as a fighter, fighting for attention, fighting for acceptance. The second kid is loose for a reason.
They are loose and she takes no nonsense. So she warns this child and then boom.
Bang, what them helter.
But it's been proven as well that most champions in certain fields, sports, are usually younger siblings.
Are they really?
Because they get brought up tough.
Yep.
So tough. But what about the eldest child? I think it's very tough to be the eldest
Not
child.
really.
It is.
Very tough. There's
Bit
a
of a
lot of
breeze.
responsibility.
Middle's a legend.
Louise in Camden, how different are your kids?
Well, our eldest has just started kindergarten this year, and she's a staunch rule follower, and she got an award for diligence just last week.
Of course.
And that same afternoon, I went to preschool to pick up our 3-year-old, and the daycare teacher said to me, "Oh, we just want to talk to you. Your son said, F and hell to us today."
A 3-year-old?
Yeah.
Well, where is he getting that from, Louise?
The food is pretty bad at daycare.
Well, when I'm sorry, I'm going to put my husband in the now.
Oh, well, you've just sworn again, Louise.
I know, sorry.
Oh, my God.
Oh, it's the hubby with the potty mouth, is it, Louise?
Yeah, filthy.
It's actually Siri because he actually has his text messages go through his car, and then Siri read it out, one of the text messages, and it had F and hell in it. So then he just says to everybody, if he hears Siri, "Oh, Siri says F and hell."
Okay.
So, and our daughter would actually never ever do that.
That's so
talk and she.
Let's talk to Siobhan in Maroubra quickly. Siobhan, what's the difference between your kids?
These are my second-born sister's kids. First-born academic excellence. Second-born started school, put a set of craft eyes inside his ears and told his mum he was trying to work out what was going on inside his head.
Awesome. He wins. He wins, doesn't he? How good is that?
This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
We have a beautiful person in here, not just physically,
mate.
but also spiritually as well. And the Imperfects podcast, 6th season. Wow. It's back again. You can get it wherever you get your good podcasts from. We love this man. Hugh Van Cylenburg.
Welcome, buddy!
It's so nice to see you. Can I just clear up something quickly with you? I heard on one of the podcasts somebody calling you Hugh Van Cylenburg. Is that correct?
I've been called so many things. Cycling bird one day.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah,
That's
cycling
good.
bird.
I like that.
There's an interview on the ABC, and then a friend of mine found a picture on Google Images of a bird riding a bike. And anyway.
Mate, let's talk about Resilience Project, because one of the key topics which came up, and we were discussing this off air, was addiction to mobile phones.
So in the hotel this morning where I went down for breakfast, and there was a family of 4.
Yeah.
So it was a mum and dad. It was a boy, would have been maybe 13, girl looked about 15, 16. And I was chatting to the dad at the buffet area, and he was saying they'd come down from Cairnsville, they'd stayed for 2 nights, and he was sitting near me, and he went back to his table and he sat there, and his 2 kids were slumped in their chairs on their phones. Mum was on the phone. And I was watching going, that's so sad. Like, if that was us back in the day, you would be you'd so excited with your family, trip to the city, and chatting about it. And the guy, after about 2 minutes, he said, is there any danger I could have some conversation with someone in my own family? And he looked so upset about it. And no one answered. Like, no one looked up from their phone. Like, it was just met with complete silence. And he was sitting there eating his muesli, looking so shattered. And I was like, oh, that's really depressing. And then 10 minutes later, I realised all I'd been doing myself for the last 10 minutes was being on my phone as well. And so I've talked about this so much over the last 5 to 10 years, addiction to devices. And I've realised that, so in my book that I wrote, which is called The Far Too Personal Trainer. That's the book I wish I wrote. Still
a couple of copies available. FarTooPersonalTrainer.com.
Hey, did you know J-Lo's heard about it? It's unbelievable.
Has she?
Yeah, she has.
Oh my God, that's great.
She can't believe it. She loves it.
She didn't like it.
Well, she hasn't read it yet, but she's heard about it. She's aware of it.
So in my book, I did a whole section. I wrote it in 2019, and I did this whole thing on addiction to devices, and I had 4 strategies in there, and I won't list them all now, but because I've realised that they worked back then, but they don't now. I feel like the big tech and the algorithms have got smarter and smarter and smarter, and they've got better at making us addicted.
Yep.
And so they don't really, and there's only one out of the, like, there was stuff like, I was saying back in 2019, put all your social media apps in a folder and put it 5 screens across. And label that like folder regret or something like that, because you know you're going to regret. Apparently the most common emotion anyone experiences after 10 minutes or more on social media is regret. So I was like, you could name that folder regret, and you could put it 5 screens across. I've realised for the last 3 years, I just swipe 5 screens, click on regret, don't even read it, and I just go straight into Instagram, and then I'm stuck. Yeah. And so I've sort of realised that it's the strategies I wrote about in the book, they're because of the way technology it's just got smarter and smarter. The algorithm's too good. It just keeps sending me videos of Brett Lee bowling Yorkers and snakes being taken out of people's houses, which I cannot say no to that. I cannot not look at that. And so I've in the last 3 weeks, I've taken a new step, and it's the only thing that really works for me. And I'd love people to try this. It's a technique, and it involves literally putting your phone in a really inconvenient place where you actually can't physically get to it. So when I get home from work at 5 o'clock or 5-ish, I leave it in the car and I park about 50 metres down the road.
Wow.
And then I go in. But otherwise...
Do you really do this?
Well, like in the last 3 weeks I have. And it's been huge because I've noticed... I reckon if you think about it, the reason we go to our phone, so often the reason we go to our phone is actually just to numb a negative emotion. Well, convenience, and also we try to numb a negative emotion. So the second we feel sad, lonely,
disconnected,
whatever it is, we just grab our phone and we try to numb the negative emotion. It works. It numbs the negative emotion, but it doesn't fix the problem. So we put the phone down. We're still where we were before. So the example I'll give is my daughter, who's 4, has the last 6 months is having a lot of problems around bedtime. Her meltdowns honestly will last about an hour, I reckon.
Yeah.
And it's my job to put her to bed. Penny's with the boys. And I have had my phone on me. Whenever she's melting down, I just get my phone out and sort of look at snakes being taken out of people's houses or Brett Lee's in swinging Yorkers. And it's just like, I've been doing that just because it's a negative emotion. I'm so upset with how she's going that I'm just grabbing my phone. And then I was like, no, what am I doing? Like, she's just watching me be on my phone this whole hour when she's in distress. And so I put it downstairs. But then after 10 minutes, I was like, I'll just go and get it. And it was almost like I'd sleepwalking. I didn't even know I was doing. I was going downstairs, getting my phone. Now I've left it in the car. It's too far. I was like, I can't be bothered. And I've actually noticed that we get through the hour together. Like, we both get upset together, then we both cheer up together, and we go through all the emotions together. We go through this sort of cycle. We sort of complete this stress cycle together. And it's been really beautiful to really totally be present with her as she struggles and then works her way through it.
Yeah.
And I think
is she going to sleep? Has it helped in that sense?
It still takes about an hour and a half for her to fall asleep. But I'm lying there with her and I'm present for it. And when she's struggling, the message she's getting is, hey, I'm here with you. We're in this together, as opposed to, oh, look at that delivery from Brett Lee. There's no way else. Like,
Great delivery. My youngest son at the moment has a real passion for gaming. So he loves sitting there and talking to mates while playing a game and loves it.
Yeah.
And I understand that. But we give him time limits. And this is the thing. He has the hardest thing is for him to say goodbye to his mates and stop it all together. But I think the most important question, Hugh, out of all of this is how does Brett Lee hold the ball to get that in Yorker?
I just knew that was Brett Lee related. I just knew it.
No,
And
you just knew the whole time. I don't know how he does it, Hugh.
it's
No
so
one does.
beautiful. If you want to have a good time on YouTube, just type in Brett Lee and swinging Yorker. And
it's good.
actually, no, that's a device. Don't do that.
The Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
The absolute worst stories of cheating.
Okay, I'm really keen to hear this.
Okay,
Me
so
too.
I've got permission off a mate to talk about this, but I've had to change names. So let's say his name is Garrett from Garrett from Eastern Creek.
Okay. Is his name Garrett?
It is now.
No, it's not. But he's given me permission to talk about this. Married, 2 kids.
Garrett is.
Garrett is.
Mm-hmm.
Rings me the other night, emotional. I've split with my wife.
Okay.
Went on a family holiday to the Maldives together. Not cheap.
Congratulations.
Very expensive.
When did they go?
This was at the end of last year.
You want me to stop asking questions, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I can't believe this. His wife is a scuba diver, right? Loves scuba diving. That's one of the main reasons they went to the Maldives. On the first day, she said she's booked herself into a scuba dive. She goes out for the whole day. He looks after the kids.
Yeah.
And she comes home and she goes, oh, my God, an amazing experience. The water was so clear. I saw so much sea life down there. It's unbelievable. Convinces her husband, can I then book in another 2 sessions on this 1 week holiday because I loved it so much? And he said, you know what, honey, you love this. I'll look after the kids. You go for another 2 days.
It's a lot of scuba air on 1 week.
This was the final day before they left. She's out scuba diving and he decides to go to the diving office at the resort to see what time she's coming back. So he gets there early. He walks into the office and he walks in on her with the diving instructor.
What movie is that? There's a movie where that happens.
While he's looking after his 2 kids.
And he's being considerate to go and find out what time she's back because possibly he's booking their final night dinner by the pool.
She breaks down, cries her eyes out, runs after him back to the room. He said, we are going... Well, they're going home the next day. He said, I'm going home. Don't talk to me. I can't do this. She then breaks down and says to him, after knowing this guy for 3 days, I think I love this guy. What? After 3 days.
Is this a real life story happened at the end of last year?
This is a real life story.
Did she?
He said, he goes, Fitz, I then had to, on the plane, I had to sit with her, with the kids, knowing that I'm going to be packing up and I'm going to stay somewhere else when I get home. It's all over.
How
It's
old
done
are
and
the
dusted.
kids?
Oh, God, they'd be like 6 and 4.
Okay, so they're little. They're unaware, relatively.
And I just thought, is that not what is going through your mind?
Do you know, it would have been hard to understand too, because I assume it went something like, I'm leaving you, I'm in love with another guy. Because she had a mask and snorkel on. Tears would have been filling up the mask at the time. And
So the thing is, she's gone diving on the first day, maybe the second day, but the third day they didn't even go diving. He's walked into the diving office early to find out when they're coming back, and she was in there with him all day.
Okay, so this... How does it happen? How does that happen? How do you fall head over heels in love with someone within a very short period of time on a family holiday, a holiday that everybody's been looking forward to when you know that your partner and your 2 children are just up the walkway?
These moments scare me. These moments scare me because they threaten what you know as a normal relationship. Yeah. Because, Kate Ritchie, the question...
got one?
It's hard to say. She doesn't like diving, but she may take up scuba air. I'm not sure at this stage.
But But the bloke that she's with does.
Kate,
she can learn to love anything he loves.
Well, that's true, depending on how they want. Kate, here's the thing. Do you suggest that this relationship is in trouble already?
Of course it is.
So there's a breakdown in the relationship, and then you just needed that trigger to drag her away from it, which became the scuba instructor. Or do you think this is a happy marriage, but the power that this guy had over her is something that could happen to anybody?
No, I don't think anything about it is I mean, this is very hard for me to comment on if it's because this is a friend of yours. So I don't know this bloke, and I'm sure he's heartbroken. But I would imagine if you go on holidays and within 3 days you're saying you're completely in love with someone else, and you've spent a day in the office with him while your family's up the road.
Yeah.
It's not all is well.
No, but
you're already out of the relationship in your head, and you're really looking for something. Surely,
we've got a call from Annie in Hurstville. We're talking about the worst stories of cheating. What do you got for us, Annie?
Hey, good morning. Yeah.
Hey.
So while I was married, we were living in Bangkok, and my now ex-husband used to go to the Philippines on business, and usual thing, off he went on a business trip.
Yeah.
And then I get a pocket dial, and I'm thinking, oh, it's 6 a.m. in the morning. You know, what's going on? And he's in a taxi with one of his mates, and he says, hey, mate, shall we get more Viagra?
Oh, my
gosh. I said, hello? And he went, and then the phone went dead. So that pretty much confirmed what I always knew, but it was you know, and then he tried to deny it, emphatically denied it. I said, geez, don't talk nonsense, here's your number.
What was the excuse, though, when, I mean, you must have said, I heard you talking about Viagra.
Yeah, no, he says, no, that wasn't me. I said, but how can it not be you? It's your number.
It's your number, you're ringing me.
Did he...
Yes, you've pocket dialed me, so it's almost like the universe saying... All right, girly girl, time to get a move on.
Yeah, you need this information. Did he resort to telling you that he was in fact having a hot love affair with his friend that he was in the back of the Uber with?
No, that was a guy friend.
Yeah, well,
we don't know.
So did you find out, Annie? Annie, did you find out?
Yes, no, I did. He eventually admitted it because then everything else started coming out as well. You know, when you standing up against a picture and you start stepping back, you suddenly see the picture for what it is.
Yeah.
So, that was just one of multiple indiscretions.
Oh, Annie.
But like I say, universe said, here we are, I'm going to put this right up against your nose so that you can now wake up.
Okay. All right. Worst cases of cheating. Can you beat that? I mean, the Maldives story still blows my mind.
Well, that flight home would have been one of the longest.
Oh.
Fatini's given us a call from Bankstown. What happened to you, Fatini?
So basically, I was 7 months pregnant on my second child, and he used to work overseas, Pacific Islands, the project manager, and came back, and I was cleaning, getting ready to wash his clothes, found a long piece of hair which wasn't mine.
Yep.
Did some digging, opened up his wallet, photo of another girl in his wallet.
Why, he's kept that in his wallet?
Lazy.
In his wallet.
A photo.
So, Fatini, you then took the photo, did you, and said, what's all this about, or how did it play out?
Yeah. We were living at my parents' house waiting for a property to be built, and basically said, what's this? He was having an affair. I said, do you love her? He goes, no, I said, well, do you love me? And he goes, I love you, but I'm not in love with you.
I love her, yeah, that's a
cop out, yeah.
And then basically he said, I don't know what to do, whether I should stay with you with the kids like 16 and 18 and then leave you, or, you know.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's
how confronting.
It's quite cold.
So what, you just booted him straight away, Fatini?
Well, yeah, basically I said, well, can you leave? Because we live in my parents. He wouldn't leave the house. He basically made me move into a new apartment, and he left. My son was 2 and my daughter was 6 months old.
Man.
Oh, man.
Oh, Fatini.
Fatini, I hate to say it, he's a shocker.
He is.
Yeah. He
That's
ended up
not
marrying
fair.
the other 13 years younger than him.
Oh,
She was
wow.
like 13 years younger than him.
Are they still together?
No, they had 3 kids. She did the dirty on him, and he ended up raising the other 3 kids, but never saw his first kids, maybe once or twice.
Oh, Fatini.
Fatini, that's tough. What about your love life? Have you got someone special now?
on and off, been a bit hard. Had to raise the kids,
of course.
on my own.
Yeah, your priorities are different.
Traffic dating, Tommy, for Teeny.
You're a very strong woman for Tina. Let's go to Coralie now from Seven Hills. Tell us about your boyfriend.
Oh, hi, how are you?
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, I was with my last boyfriend for about 7 months, which I thought was my boyfriend. We spent the Saturday night together. The Monday morning, he ghosted me. I got on his Facebook, and there he was introducing the love of his life and his new family to the world. And I commented saying, "But you're with me on Saturday night." And the next minute, another 7 females popped up saying that, yeah, he's been sleeping with them for the last 7 months as well.
He's a busy boy, Cora.
Yeah, he's got a full diary.
He was a very busy boy, he was. And it was like, yeah, the more we stalked him, the more we found out. And
How did you meet him?
Oh, just on a dating site.
Coralie. So how many did you find out altogether did he have on the side, Coralie?
8.
Oh, what a stinker.
But this is the whole thing about these people. They're just so blasé about
Don't
things.
care.
Like if you're out there and you've got all these people that you're hooking up with who actually think you're in a relationship, and then you're just willy-nilly posting about your family that you're in love with as well. It's so entitled.
And what did he say when you confronted him, Coralie?
Well, when I finally got to confront him, he told me that, I deserve someone who actually loves me.
Yeah,
and that's what he said to everybody else. And
he's such a good guy.
He's a
so
good man.
he's really thoughtful.
He's a good man like that.
Sounds like it was just physical.
Elise in Parramatta, tell us about your mum's friend.
Yeah, hey, so Mum has this friend, let's call her Annie, right?
Yep.
So Annie is happily married, or was, has 3 pretty much adult kids, right? Yep. Annie walks home one day to find her husband with her mother.
What?
What the hell? What?
This has been going on for close to 3 years. Annie's mum with Annie's husband.
Oh, what was Mum's excuse, Elise? What did Mum say about this?
They were in love. They loved each other. Annie had to file for bankruptcy. Like, the whole thing, kind of everything just started to unravel.
That will never happen with Lisa and her mum.
Lisa and her mum.
That would never happen.
That would be Lisa and your mum or your dad.
That's you hooking up with Deb.
That's right. I'm just saying now, for the record, that would never happen. Lisa will never come home and find Deborah and I involved in some sort of hot nude rumble.
What about the other way? Could there be a chance that John and Lisa?
Highly unlikely. The age of 75, I'm not sure he's up for it.
Would you have a little vomit?
Oh,
if you came home, it's like what kind of physical reaction do you have when you walk? You put the key in the door and you walk down the hallway, and then you're in the lounge room, and on the couch is your parent and your partner.
Who are you more disappointed with, Mum?
Your parent.
Like, what would you say to Heather? What would you say to Heather? You walk in and there she is, nude in the kitchen.
So, okay, quiet on set.
Can you stop?
3, 2,
because I
1.
know Mum's in the car right now, and most likely with my daughter.
It's not what it looks like, Kate.
What's the first thing you would say to Heather?
I'd say, should I put the kettle on?
Do you know, can I tell you something? A mate of mine not long ago, he was at home and the cleaner was there. And they started talking about intimacy. The cleaner says, it's been a while for me, I really miss it. He says, it's been a while for me as well. The next thing you know, right there in the kitchen, it is on for young and old.
Is this guy, was he in a relationship?
No. He is. He's in a relationship. He's got about 4 girls on the go. He's a bit of a shocker.
Is this a friend of yours?
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
And I'm always fascinated how these moments which seem random, like a mother involved or a cleaning lady, how it actually gets to that point of going, I woke up this morning and this was a regular day. I had my Wheat Bix for breakfast. I read the paper. I checked my email, and the next thing you know, I'm on the lino in the kitchen, getting it on with the cleaner.
I know, because you think you live an interesting life. But that stuff isn't happening.
There's some...
There's stuff going on out there, wild and crazy.
Put down the Mr. Sheen.
There's some nymphos out there, isn't there?
Well, I don't think it's even that. I think it's people looking for connection.
I don't think it is, Kate. They're just bored.
No, I think people are desperate for connection and deeply, deeply, deeply unhappy in their own lives. And before you know it, you can't fake chemistry. If you're standing... How many people have got cleaners and they never fancy them at all?
No.
The Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
There's a bit of an anniversary happening today, Fitz. And I don't think many people realise, but it's actually an 18-year anniversary today for somebody in the studio, one of our team members who we love so much. It's been 18 years to the day since Kate Ritchie took to the stage on It Takes Two.
Oh, what a moment in Australian history.
I mean, would you ever forget the wonderful work of Kate Ritchie, Troy Cassar-Daley on this song?
Well, my temperature's rising, got my feet on the floor. Woo! Crazy people rocking 'cause they wanna go home.
Okay.
This is not my best one.
What was your best one?
So bad, I made it.
Jackson. When I did Jackson.
Okay, well...
Give me some of love. At least you're not playing the AC/DC because they made me dress up like I was some kind of rock goddess, and it wasn't me. I look back on this time because I still remember where I was when Princess Diana died, and when I got the phone call from my agent asking me to do a singing show. And I don't know what happened. I was having a weak moment.
You thought, let me die on stage. The great news is Troy Cassar-Daley is here to celebrate. Start the music right now. Hand Kate Ritchie the microphone.
I'm not singing!
Yes, you are.
Hello!
Yes, you are, Kate Ritchie.
Go, Troy, go!
Are you serious?
We got married in a fever.
What a song.
Hotter than a pepper sprout.
Oh, so good.
We've been talking about Jackson ever since the fire went out. I'm going to Jackson. I'm going to mess around.
Oh, what a sound.
Yeah, we're going to Jackson.
Look out, Jackson Town. Well, go down to Jackson.
Woo.
Go ahead and wreck your hill. Go play your hand, you big talking man. Make a big fool of yourself. Yeah, go to Jackson. Go comb your hair.
Yeah, honey, I'm going to snowball Jackson.
See if I care.
Back to the chorus, Kate. You'll nail it. Ready? Here we go. Well, we got married in a fever, hotter than a pepper sprout. We've been talking about Jackson ever since the fire went out. I'm going to Jackson. And that's a fact.
That's a fact.
Yeah, we're going to Jackson. Ain't never coming back.
Hasn't lost it.
If there's one thing that she always had in her was some country music, I must say.
Do you know what? Troy took me to Tamworth. In fact, for one of the episodes, I don't know which song it was. Perhaps it was the Jackson week.
Jackson, yeah.
And so we went to Tamworth. I mean, Tamworth, like Troy personifies. He made me go onto the stage and try and get a little bit of experience singing in front of people because it's not what I like to do, but it's so full of joy and it's so great. I just love Troy and I love Laurel and I love his whole family and they were so warm and made me feel great.
That's what it's all about.
18
That's
years.
what I wanted to ask about because Troy, anxiety levels, in any, Kate going on stage or behind a camera, but doing something that she's never done before. Were there moments where you thought, she might not go on stage here?
Look, honestly, it was like me walking on a set.
Yeah.
Going to be an actor.
Yeah.
I would not do that.
No.
I can't remember lines. That's just not my bag. So, and I reckon it would be just the same for Kate when she walked on stage. She can remember lines, but you have to be a singer. And I think she just, we all learned something about ourselves, but Kate just sort of learned that if she's going to be, she's an actor, so she can act her way through the show and sing. And my wife Laurel said, Kate, just act. Just do your thing. And
I know, but then I opened my mouth. And
but it just worked.
Can't fake. Do you know what? Did.
Yeah, go on, but we're definitely going to take it out with one more song. We got a bit.
What's this song? What is it?
Do we, Jess?
Yesterday.
Oh, no, not that. I thought it was something else.
No.
We can't sing this. I'm so flat.
No,
Do you know what I thought? Do you know what I thought you were handing me?
What?
Oh, God.
Oh, yes, for the other one.
Because what I was texting Troy about the other day is that what I was texting Troy about the other day is that Troy, when I got married in 2010.
Oh, yes.
Troy couldn't make the wedding, and so Stuart and I wanted Troy and Laurel to be at the wedding, but they couldn't make it, and so and we wanted him to play, and instead of
playing.
You know what happened? We were living in Nashville, and Kate got in touch with me, and I was living in Nashville. My studio was a little cupboard in this little rental house, and I just do a little chorus, and all it is just I'm gonna make the most of every day with you, 'cause good things don't last long, and this world can do you wrong. So while I'm searching for the clues, I'm gonna make the most of every day with you. And then the chorus went, while the sun still shines on your face, our home will be a holy place. As the years go by, I promise to make the most of every day with you. I'm gonna make the most of every day with you. You're a good mate.
Oh, Troy Cassar-Daley. That was amazing. That was amazing.
So we're not.
So anyway,
I'm only crying so we don't have to do yesterday.
I only played that so it got us off the hook.
Oh, take it away, Jess. Thank you for coming in, mate.
What a pleasure.
Fits in Whipper with Kate Ritchie is a Nova podcast. For more great shows like this, download the Nova Player via the App Store or Google Play.
The Nova Player.